here we have the current stock market analysis for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if we find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comments section below so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is the 1 hour price chart. Each candle on this time frame represents a 1 hour trading period. And as we can see here, the stock really is continuing to push higher. What we have for a price top at the moment comes in right at 44.38. So I'll mark that on the price chart here. And this does put us into close contact, of course, with that $45 level. So the real question at this point for this stock is going to be, how much further share prices can continue to extend in the upward direction. I don't think there's really much debate about whether or not this is a well-positioned company for the future and things like that. But I think that the real question here is whether or not this current price movement has become overextended. Is this likely to continue? Of course, no stock can continue to just move in the upward direction forever. So it's important to remember these facts when we're looking at the other sort of channels on the YouTube platform, which are just sort of exclusively positive and just really outlandish with the kind of random number claims that these people are coming up with. So I'm seeing a lot of $100 per share, for example. This would be a significant change in share prices relative to the current price level. And I'm not saying that Palantir can't get there at some point, but the question is when is this most likely to occur? And are we ready to start to see a bit of a pullback here in share prices? So these are really the questions that need to be asked, rather than how much further can it extend. I mean, I don't really think that that's the proper way of looking at this stock. So if we're going to sort of make an assessment about where share prices could be headed next, the first thing that I would do here would be to do a Fibonacci analysis study of these recent lows, which came in right around $35.90. I can mark that in here on the price chart as well. And then extend this price movement in the upward direction to those highs at 44.38. So really what we're looking at is this price movement here. And as we can see, if we sort of move down to the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone, the 50-hour exponential moving average does come into fairly close contact with this level. So as we can see here, this orange line is really coming into contact with the bottom of this orange price zone here. So this does give us sort of a target to watch to the downside. If we were to see share prices perhaps move lower into this area, there are a couple of different scenarios that could start to unfold at that point. You could start to see share prices move higher and bounce from there. Or we could start to see share prices start to break through support zones. So both of those scenarios would be, both of those scenarios would give us a lot of information about whether or not these trends are likely to continue, or whether we're starting to roll over from current levels. So if we did break below the 38.2% fib retracement, what that would really mean is that we would be looking for support to be found right around 41.10. So this is roughly where this area comes into contact. This is the 50-hour exponential moving average and the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. So, there are two scenarios here. One, you could see a bounce from this area, or two, you could see a break below this area. If this were to occur to the downside, I would then start to probably place my focus toward the sub $40 level. At that point, I would really be looking at the 39.10 area as a potential level of support. Because we do have the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement coming into contact here, as well as the 200-hour exponential moving average. Now, of course, that's not there yet, but I do think that it would take some time for the share price to decline into this area, and that would probably be enough time for this 200-hour EMA to start to come into contact with that 618 retracement. So that would be a possible area to watch to the downside. So, really the question here is, when share prices are moving this strongly in one direction, it's important to start to watch for signals that trend might be reversing. And that Fibonacci zone initially at 41.10, I think would be an initial signal that could be occurring. If we look at the indicator reading here on the hourly time frame, we can see that there is multiple way of sort of drawing out the positive momentum reading that has been seen here. So we are still seeing positive momentum that underlies this stock. And on this time frame, we're finally starting to see the relative strength index that is confirming these higher price highs on some of these on some of these time frames previously, and on some of the longer term time frames. We really weren't seeing the relative strength index confirm the price highs. And that does sort of signal a warning sign that suggests that share prices could start to move lower. On these shorter term timeframes here now, such as this hourly reading, we are starting to at least see the indicator reading that is moving to new highs as the share price is also moving to new highs. So that is a positive signal. So that does suggest that these price levels might be more sustainable. And in addition to that, we can see that the indicator reading here, there are several ways of looking at this indicator reading, and they're really all positive. I mean, there really isn't any negative momentum that can be found in this chart. I mean, we saw some previously that did actually wind up breaking to the top side. So this prior negative bearish momentum reading is no longer considered viable or valid. So, as we can see here, there are three different ways of looking at this momentum reading. This first one here, I really wouldn't expect this to maintain itself much longer. This is a very steep slope on this reading, and this is probably unlikely to maintain itself much longer. But if share prices do start to become overbought, we would then likely fall into this secondary momentum reading here, and that could provide a bit of a bounce there for the stock to continue moving higher. So, even if we do start to see some downside pullbacks here, it's not exactly the end of the trend. The trend still has scope here to continue because we do have multiple reasons to believe that there is positive momentum. And, there are still several support levels that we should be watching on this price chart. So, I really wouldn't start to remove the bullish bias from this stock unless we see a break below roughly this 39.10 area. I think that at the very least, that could start to give you a bit more of a sideways consolidation type of period. But we also have resistance at 41.10 to provide sort of bullish investors with some a measure of a positive outlook here near term. So here's the current stock market update for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.